Hello and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Tuesday, the 6th of December. My name is Rachael Parker and my pronouns are she and her. I am an Anglican priest for the Anglican Church of Canada and the Diocese of Edmonton in Alberta. And I am the rector or the priest for Dayspring Ministries, which is a collaboration of three Anglican churches: St. Mary's in Edgerton, St. Thomas in Wainwright, St. Saviour's in Vermilion. And it is my pleasure to have you hanging out with me today. Now, yesterday I started a 2-day sort of continuation of talking about something from this book, Safe in the Shepherd's Arms, Hope and Encouragement from Psalm 23, from Max Lucado. I'd like to share this passage with you. I've switched up my glasses so I can actually see it today. He says, not only is your name written on God's hand, but when what matters to you matters to him. You probably think that's true when it comes to the big stuff. When it comes to the majorly difficulties like death, disease, sin, and disaster, you know that God cares. But what about the smaller things? What about grouchy bosses or flat tires or lost dogs? What about broken dishes, late flights, toothaches, or crashed hard drive? Do these matter to God? I mean, he's got a universe to run. He's got the planets to keep balanced and presidents and kings to watch over. He's got wars to worry with and famines to fix. Who am I to tell him about my ingrown toenail? I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you who you are. In fact, let me proclaim who you are. You are an heir of God and a co-heir with Christ. Romans chapter 8, verse 17. You are eternal like an angel. Luke 20, verse 36. You have a crown that will last forever. 1 Corinthians 9, verse 25. You are a holy priest. 1 Peter 2:5. A treasured possession. Exodus 19:5. You were chosen before the creation of the world. Ephesians 1, verse 4. You are destined for praise, fame, and honor, and you will be a holy people to the Lord your God. Deuteronomy 26, verse 19. But more than any of the above, more significant than any title or position, is the simple fact that you are God's child. The Father has loved us so much that we are called children of God, and we really are his children. 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. I love that phrase. We really are his children. It's as if John knew some of us would shake our heads and say, nah, not me. Mother Teresa, maybe, Billy Graham, all right, but not me. If those are your feelings, John added that phrase for you. We really are his children. As a result, if something is important to you, it's important to God. I believe that. I really do. I live that truth in my life, and I do encourage other people to live that truth as well. Now, I know there are going to be lots of folks in comments about, that God does not align, doesn't keep the planets in their courses, and he obviously doesn't fix famines and droughts. All of those arguments, absolutely. But that does not mean that God does not care. I think about my own upbringing, my own childhood, and think about what my parents did and did not do. My parents did not put training wheels on my bike and leave them on forever, just in case I might fall. As a matter of fact, every time I got a new bike, the training wheels went on. For the first couple of bikes when I was a little kid, the training wheels went on, and my mom and dad usually took those training wheels off long before I thought I was ready. And you know what happened? Every time I fell, and my knee was all scraped up, and I had gravel road rash and had to have the iodine put on it and the big band-aids, and it hurt. And you know what? I learned to ride my bike. My parents knew that in loving me, they could not simply make life easy for me. They couldn't fix every problem for me. What they could do was love me through it and teach me the skills I needed to be able to deal with those things, and then learn those skills proceeded to help me learn how to ride bigger bikes until, generally speaking, I don't fall off bikes anymore. Generally speaking, I'm a bit of a klutz. But I think that's the way it is with God. I mean, there's a lot of people who would base the argument that God doesn't care because God doesn't fix those problems. But I do believe, and free will and all that, I do believe in free will. And I do believe that God puts into our spheres, our environments, people and resources with which we can fix our problems. Sometimes we run into problems that aren't fixable. my husband's illness, for instance, there's nothing I can do to fix that. I can't turn back time to, figure out what we still don't know what went wrong anyway. So if I couldn't turn back time to fix it anyway, even if I could turn back time, but there's nothing I can do to fix his heart. I can encourage him to take his medication and to exercise and do all those things, which he's doing, but I can't fix him. He is going to have to live with chronic, like forever, with congestive heart failure. Even if his heart heals, he will be considered in having congestive heart failure. We have to learn to live with that. That is awful, and it's heartbreaking, and it's difficult, but it is livable. It's doable. If I say something to a parishioner or something over the internet here that, I make a mistake and I realize when it's too late that I have made such a horrible mistake, I have to live with that. I can do my best to mitigate the problem. I can do my best to not repeat that mistake. But God isn't going to come down and snap his fingers and take my mistake away. That's not how God works. And I don't think that's how I would want God to work. I like learning. I like trying to understand how I can grow and become a better person. And I've learned over the years that the best way for me to learn is by making mistakes, by seeking out the resources of other people. There are so many things that I cannot do by myself. I am not good at most of the things in my life, but that's why it's such a blessing that there are so many other people out there who are good at it. I am blessed with volunteers in my churches who know how to do the finances or how to fix the bell tower, or who know how to tweak the sound system when I've done something really, really wrong on Sunday mornings. There are so many people and circumstances and opportunities. Google. There are so many things I can Google to figure out how to do something. I don't need God to interfere. I don't need God to come down and touch divinely every single thing in my life. All I need is to know that God loves me as I do these things, as I work through them, as I figure out where I've gone wrong or how that worked well and how I can make it work well again. God is a parent in the best sense of the word. And I know that there are many, many people who struggle with the idea of God as father or mother for different reasons, because of experiences they've had of an abusive parent or an absent parent. But when I think of God, I think of that perfect parent, the parent that everyone would like to have. And part of that is the recognition that the God that I need to be my father, the God I need to be my parent, is the God who says, you can do this, kiddo. Go for it. Try it. If you fail, I'll be right here to help pick you up. I'll help you to learn from your mistakes. But I will also help you not to feel humiliated, because there's nothing wrong with failing if you have tried. We have this incredible gift of a relationship with one who knows us better than we even know ourselves, just as our parents knew us better than we knew ourselves when we were children. Our parents know what foods we like. They also often know what kinds of foods we might like if we tried them, what sports we might like, what music we might like. They watch us and they study us and they understand us so well that for those who are gifted with having parents who care, just like God, they know us better often than we know ourselves, at least for a while. And that's a gift. My prayer for you is that you will be able to understand the presence of God in your life, and that you will be able to feel the fact that you're known, that God loves you, and God is with you every step of the way. God bless you, and I will see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael. Have a wonderful day.